Thanks so much, Mario Mateus, and it's my pleasure today to presenting to the IIF forum. This is my second time, most recently giving an update on the company and the market in September, and the third time for First Hydrogen. We're going to talk today about our markets, our plans, and our progress. Before we move into the body of the presentation, I just remind you of the forward-looking statement that can be reviewed at your leisure. So First Hydrogen really is all about zero, and we really do not need an introduction around zero. That's our catchphrase. But what it is doing is bringing zero-emission vehicles to the market in combination with green hydrogen supply and empowered by advanced powertrain designs. So it's this combination, this collection of technologies, and this holistic solution that is First Hydrogen. We're doing that through our strong team of experts, well experienced in the industry, and through our partners that are enabling us to go at record speed in terms of our progress. Now, simply put, we're offering a total solution. Why are we doing this? We think a total solution is necessary at this stage of the energy transition to accelerate adoption, make it easy for the customers to adopt this technology. So we take green mobility in the form of a delivery van that is zero emission. We combine it with green hydrogen that powers the van. And as mentioned, we enable it with a green powertrain to provide the lowest cost of ownership for the application with zero emission benefits. So an ideal value proposition right now for the market with such great need. And this is where we have to mention why First Hydrogen now. Back in September, I outlined a number of the drivers, and we have 5 key drivers here that are creating what I call the hydrogen megatrend. We all know climate change, and that's taken as granted. But in addition to that, simultaneously with climate change, we're seeing pollution. We live in cities. When cities are polluted, it creates health problems. We must address that. We live in a time where energy independence is more important than ever, as underscored by the situation in Ukraine. We all need to have our energy to conduct our societies. We need energy resilience. This is in part amplified by climate change. We are now in a period of megastorms, as illustrated by the recent catastrophic storm in Florida with the massive hurricane that was there. Without energy resilience, we're exposed to long periods of time without energy that we need to run our lives. And the good news is we have enabling technologies that have developed over the last number of decades that are now ready for prime time. Battery technologies, fuel cell technologies, control technologies, all these are coming together simultaneously to enable solutions. And it's a time where the market recognizes the importance of hydrogen. I'll just underscore this with the following facts. First is the G7 is committed to hydrogen. In the G7 this year, we have the US with its very important historic Inflation Reduction Act that is going to ensure billions of dollars investment in renewable energy technology, in zero emission technology, in hydrogen technology. In the EU, we have the Green Deal. They're doubling down, accelerating plans to go green. In the UK hydrogen strategy, similar in Canada, national hydrogen strategy, and in Japan, also a strong commitment to decarbonization with hydrogen playing an important role. The same in India and China. Both markets are committed to hydrogen. And we see now a growing consensus, a global commitment to energy security, and a growing need to address energy poverty, which is in part caused by a lack of energy security. Further good news, the energy companies are now embracing hydrogen as a pathway to the energy transition. Think of it, we have Shell, Chevron, BP, Total, ExxonMobil, and Saudi Aramco as examples of companies that have identified green hydrogen as a pathway. They want to invest in this business. They are investing in this business. So Again, it's just telling us hydrogen has global support. Now, our markets are Europe and the UK, the United States and Canada. And why? Is because these markets have prioritized decarbonization. They are supporting that process with billions of dollars in programs. The most recent program to be announced is from Canada, with plans to implement a similar tax credit structure as to what is being put in place in the United States. So this will be extremely helpful in all of our core markets to help execute our business plans. Yet, global concern still exists over the pace of change. And this is loud and clear from COP27, which we just had. So what did we hear from COP27? Well, for starters, a new initiative, Fund for Climate Justice. This ties us all together. If there's a crisis in Pakistan, we need to fund to recover that economy and rebuild that economy from investments from the G7 and the more established markets. What will happen as a result? In my opinion, this program will increase carbon monetization. Carbon credits will be more important than ever, recognizing that there is a cost of doing nothing, and that cost is reflected in climate justice. We also heard that the use of fossil fuels is not going away. It's going to be with us for a long time. So what does that mean? Again, carbon credits are going to be with us. They're going to be a huge market, and that market will finance the transition. It'll finance companies such as ourselves. And billions in dollars in private finance are already committed. Not trillions yet, but it's on its way. So momentum is there, and it's positive from my perspective. Now, a recent report issued for the Hydrogen Council, and if you haven't heard of the Hydrogen Council, please check it out. It's hydrogencouncil.com. It really is the spokes vehicle for our industry. And they commissioned McKinsey to come up with an analysis. And that analysis showed that some 90% of global GDP countries have net zero targets. Some 40 national hydrogen strategies are now in place. 240 some billion dollars in investment is committed through 2030. So massive progress. But where is that money going? It's very important. And this is where the analysis takes us. Europe, North America, and Latin America account for over 70% of that investment, with the highest financing going into Europe. Europe, North America, our target markets, financing committed projects in those markets. This is great alignment. Further, ground transportation is the segment with the highest share of committed capital. Mobility, zero emission mobility. Again, our core market. So tremendous alignment. We have also reached out and be talking to large fleet customers, very large fleet customers. And what are they telling us? They're telling us that delivery vans definitely need a fuel cell version to complement their electric version. Why? Well, it comes down to increasing the range, being able to quickly refuel the vehicle to get it back to work, and also manage heavier payloads. So it's a complementary vehicle to the zero emission fleet they're already trialing and demonstrating with electric versions. And they have definitely told us we need this type of vehicle to serve our business needs. Conclusion, we all need to accelerate the energy transition. And First Hydrogen is definitely on the right path. So let's look at our progress. So I'm going to take you through our progress and plans to date, a little bit of detail on our van development and our deployment status. POWERTRAIN, I mentioned. I'm going to talk about a new initiative for POWERTRAIN Focus, an update on our green hydrogen plans, a quick overview of total cost of ownership with some very good news to report before we wrap up. So progress and plans. We've had a remarkable 2 years. We've achieved great things, and I thank our team and our partners for that. We have built the first 2 road certified vehicles that are now on the test track, going into commercial operation with real fleet operators in Q1 of next year. We've also done intensive work at the engineering and market analysis level to inform us for the next steps of our business. and we've initiated our green hydrogen plans and projects. Looking forward, as I mentioned, next year is an important year for us where we validate our initial vehicles with real-world experience through fleet operators. We'll also be kicking off our series production prototype design at an engineering level with the intention of completing that in 2023, while we also establish the groundwork for our first green hydrogen projects. So a very busy and exciting year for First Hydrogen. Looking forward in the 2024-26 timeframe, we'll initiate commercial sales led by our POWERTRAIN business, which I'll talk about shortly. We'll have finalized designs and we'll have primed the market with our lead fleet customers trialing our initial series production product before scaling up the business in the 2026 and onwards timeframe. Now, here's a quick visual of our vans that are currently in the UK in operation. We issued a press release on this. I bring your attention to a video link that is in the press release if you want to see these vehicles in operation. Now, next generation plans. This is very exciting, and it's a heads up for announcements we'll be making in the coming weeks about our series production product. And this next generation vehicle is going to fully leverage the potential of hydrogen and fuel cells along with modular EV capability. What does that mean? It means this platform we're developing will be available in EV mode, that's full battery mode, as well as fuel cell mode, which is a hybrid of battery and fuel cells. Why would we do that? In order to cover the complete addressable market for these vehicles, where we can provide one solution, one platform to all of our customers based on their needs. In some cases, the EV vehicle may be perfect for the job. In other cases, they're going to need the fuel cell vehicle, as we have heard from our customers. So our plan, which we're providing more details on, is to provide both options. Now, just to amplify why this makes sense. With our development vehicle, which we call the base BEV, battery electric vehicle, we started with an electric vehicle. That base electrical vehicle had a range of about 100 kilometers. We then have built the prototypes, which is the V1 demonstration vehicle. It has approximately 5 times more range, not 50% more range, which would be impressive, but 500% more range. This punctuates the benefit of the fuel cell technology. The hydrogen storage on board this vehicle is lighter, and that enables us to put more kilowatt hours on the vehicle than is possible with batteries, giving it more range than is possible with batteries. Now, here's the exciting news. The BEV version of our next generation vehicle, which we'll be revealing shortly, has significantly improved range. This is due to design and advancements in battery technology. It will be approximately equivalent to our current demonstration vehicle. And even better news is the fuel cell vehicle will have approximately twice the range of the battery vehicle, again, because of the benefits of the hydrogen storage weight. That would be a range in the 1,000-kilometer range. So we have the full market covered. If you're inner city, short range, most likely electric version is the vehicle for you. If you need maximum payload, long distance, the fuel cell version will work just fine. Now let's turn our attention to POWERTRAIN. POWERTRAIN is an assembly of every component on an integrated basis to move the vehicle forward. So it's the power plant. It's the heart of your vehicle. And that power plant can be cross-applied to other markets as well. And that's exactly what First Hydrogen is going to do. We're establishing a POWERTRAIN center of excellence. We're going to take our POWERTRAIN knowledge developed thus far and apply it to adjacent markets. Markets such as specialty marine, agriculture, other commercial trucks, and power market being backup power, portable power, and EV charging. And so this will allow us to also address these adjacent markets that want to decarbonize and also address it on a faster timeline than the full scale-up timeline for our series production. And this is where it gets really interesting. We can leverage our fuel cell powertrain to service these adjacent markets for short-term revenue and also provide technology proof points. We also have synergies based on early volumes for the adjacent market powertrains that will then flow into and benefit the van production plans. Once the van production plans come in place, the volumes from the van production plans will benefit the adjacent markets on a cost basis. We'll do the business through respective channel leaders in the individual segments. Now, just to walk you through what we're looking at here. At the top, we have a plan view of the van. At the front of the van is the fuel cell engine. The fuel cell engine is shown right here below. It consists of a fuel cell stack, which is the heart of the fuel cell system, and balance of plant, which is all the systems needed to operate that stack. In this case, we call this a distributed architecture for the fuel cell system in order to have it optimized for the vehicle platform, so it all can fit into the vehicle platform. Additionally, we have the traction motor, we have the controls. This is a battery pack. So again, it's an electric vehicle, and then the tanks are behind the battery pack. So this is a complete powertrain solution that will go into these other vehicles. Now let's turn our attention to our green hydrogen plans. As I mentioned, we are a holistic solution provider. And as a result, we need to provide and confirm the supply and availability of the green hydrogen for our vehicles. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll source or self-generate the green hydrogen based on regional economics and market maturity, where systems are in place, networks are in place, we'll partner and work with those suppliers to get the hydrogen for our customers. Where that infrastructure is not ready, we'll greenfield develop projects in order to provide the hydrogen. And we'll do those projects in renewable rich regions on a priority basis with attractive costs of renewable energy. Our initial plans are to focus on capacities of approximately 50 megawatts. That is a big project. It's not a mega project, but still, when we think of it, it's enough to provide fuel for approximately 2,000 vans. So a very good starting point that we can replicate and multiply to increase the overall penetration of vans in the market. Our near-term plans, 3 to 5 sites, and that'll match up with our initial plans for the vans. Here's a quick view of a facility. At the back, we have the electrolyzer production hall. This will use advanced electrolysis technology to produce the hydrogen. Once the hydrogen is produced, it needs to be compressed, and it needs to be distributed into trucks. We have storage as well to accommodate the frequency of truck deliveries as a buffer. And we have all the associated electrical equipment for the plant. It's not that big. It's very compact, and it just shows you that we can implement this type of project in many cities throughout our served markets. Now, last week, we announced some very exciting news. This is our first green hydrogen project plan in Quebec, La Belle Provence. Why La Belle Provence? They have a strong vision and strategy in place for the energy transition. And when we talked to Quebec, when we sat down and looked at their plans, which I'll highlight in a moment, there was tremendous alignment with our plans. It's like we were writing from the same playbook. We have the same plans. They have a plan for a green economy. They want to reduce dependence on fossil fuels in the province. They want energy autonomy, back to that energy independence. And they can do it because they already are one of the largest regional producers of renewable energy in the form of hydropower and wind power. They need to develop green prosperity for the future, and they are intent on accelerating the pace of the energy transition. Further, the Green Economy Plan is supplemented with the 2030 Quebec Green Hydrogen and Bioenergy Strategy that specifically targets green hydrogen for generation within the province of Quebec for the province of Quebec. So tremendous alignment with our own business plans, and it's very exciting. And our plan is to locate in what is known as the Vallée de la Transition Énergétique. This is 3 cities, the cities of Bécancour, Trois-Rivières, and Shawinigan, joining forces to bring together all the requirements to transition to sustainability with renewable energy. So this, again, is a powerful hub for us to base our business in. And it's important that this hub is looking to provide large volume deployments of zero emission commercial vehicles. Check mark for our plans. Perfect alignment. It's looking for future scaling. So there's upside opportunity beyond the first project we do. And of course, they're looking for industrial localization, which we support, green job growth, which will occur. And this will be the first regional energy ecosystem for green hydrogen in Canada. Now, Shawinigan, it's perfectly located halfway between Montreal and Quebec City. This Montreal-Quebec City corridor serves some 4 million people. So a nice addressable market, a large addressable market to deploy our products. And we intend to create the network of refueling that can fuel our products, also be available to provide hydrogen to other applications, such as trucks, large trucks, buses, fuel cell vehicles, and industrial uses. Now, let's look at Shawinigan. 1898 was when the first hydroelectric company in Quebec was formed, right in Shawinigan. That company today is Hydro-Quebec, one of the biggest hydroelectric utilities in the world. So they have over 100 years of experience in hydroelectric generation, and it happens right there in Shawinigan. And in addition, Shawinigan is like a hub for transmission networks, bringing hydro energy from other parts of the province. So a perfect alignment with what we're trying to do. Now let's turn our attention to total cost of ownership. And this is where I said there's some good news to report. We've been busy, very busy, analyzing total cost of ownership over the last year. And this is one scenario of many that we've done deep dive analysis on. This scenario is for a delivery van that is running 80,000 kilometers per year, approximately 350 kilometers a day. And I want to draw everyone's attention to the 2027 projection. What this tells us is that we have energy cost parity between diesel, battery, and fuel cells. Cost parity within a mere 5 years with the carbon technology that's been around for the last 100 years. It's amazing, very exciting, and a significant development. And then we look at 2033. This is where the benefits of the market scaling really come home. We show cost savings, yes, cost savings for both battery electric and fuel cell versions. So you can have zero emission and it will save you money over what you're doing today. How good is that? Everyone will want to jump on board. And this is where, in addition, when we add the benefit of other subsidies and tax credits, such as the tax credits available in the United States and the planned tax credits available in Canada, it will only get better, and it should act to accelerate overall market adoption. So perhaps we can see these cost benefits before 2033. Very important. And again, it also underscores the logic of having two platforms, an electric vehicle platform and a fuel cell vehicle platform. So you can actually select your platform based on what makes most sense for your business case. And I think there's multiple business cases for most of our customers. So there'll be a hybrid collection of electric and fuel cell vehicles in the market. All of those vehicles can be supplied by First Hydrogen. If they need an electric vehicle, it'll be a First Hydrogen electric van. If they need a fuel cell vehicle, it'll be a First Hydrogen fuel cell van. Now let's wrap up. I'm so pleased with the progress we've made since September. It's truly impressive, and it lays the foundation for our business to go forward. That foundation is now enabling us to move forward with customer development, green hydrogen project development, such as the Shawinigan project, and the important vehicle engineering execution stage, which I mentioned we'll be providing more details on in the coming weeks. So it really is going to be a very exciting year for us in 2023 as well. Our staged investment strategy is capital focused on providing a fully integrated solution to make it easy for adoption. Zero emission mobility, green hydrogen, and powertrain development. Our business plan is based on revenue capture from the complete life cycle of the vehicle. We call it vehicle life cycle monetization. And our acronym for that is Hydrogen as a Service. Although I think with our plans to now add electric, we'll call it Vehicle as a Service, because in some cases it'll be hydrogen, in some cases it'll be electricity. And that's based on flexible fuel cell and battery electric platforms to increase our addressable markets, de-risk infrastructure timing, and be a hedge, frankly, for the differences between hydrogen and electricity costs. Again, if electricity is a favorable cost, it probably will make sense to go electric if the use case is appropriate, and the same for hydrogen. Last point, the zero emission marketplace has potential for billions of dollars in sales serving key global markets. The total solution that we're providing will enhance returns and be attractive returns, and we intend to lead this market from today forward with our plans. And with that, thank you, and I'll hand it back to Mario. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you very much for this excellent presentation, Rob. I think that was pretty exciting, especially to know that you're actually first demonstration vehicles are on the road and gathering data for you. We have already 2 questions from the audience. Please, everyone, if you have any question, we have still 3 minutes with Rob. This is the best time to speak directly to him. One question from Klaus: do I understand it correctly that First Hydrogen is the intermediate between fuel cell provider, which is Ballard, and the vehicle provider, MAN?
So that is what we've used with our first demonstration vehicles. It's a MAN platform, and it uses a Ballard fuel cell. Going forward, the platform, the vehicle, will be First Hydrogen design, which is what we're kicking off in January. And I expect the fuel cell to be Ballard.
Perfect. Another Armin is asking, now that the demonstration vehicles are road approval, there are already some interested parties. How big are these fleet operators that we read about? Are there any big names involved?
There are some very big names.
Any of that.
Yeah, there are some very big names involved that we're in conversation with. I'd say the largest in the world, but I can't disclose any names.
All right. Well, I'm born and raised.
Well, I would mention one thing though. We are going to set up a customer council where these customers will work side by side with us to ensure we're on the right track. So it's like they're guiding us with our design decisions, with our market decisions.
Perfect. Yeah, a lot of people see them as client, but they actually become quite partners in the business, actually, for you guys to respond to their specific needs and technicalities that they're required. As I was saying earlier, I'm from Montreal myself, Rob. So when you talk about Quebec, la belle province, I feel very happy about it. And we've got a question from for Quebec. Will Quebec support the buildup of production? How much subsidy can be expected?
So our plans are to produce green hydrogen in Quebec and to also locate our North American vehicle assembly plant in Quebec. And we do expect support from the province, but I can't provide any details on the extent of that.
Perfect. I guess that makes Jian Kung a bit jealous. He's asking, do you plan to produce hydrogen in the Western Canada in the future?
Absolutely.
Great. Is the presentation available on the website, the one you just gave us?
No, but my contact details, I think you're going to post it on your own website in the video mode, and my contact details are there, and you can reach me at robert.campbell@firsthydrogen.com, and I can make it available.
Okay, perfect. And if anyone's is interested into a one-on-one with Rob or directors at First Hydrogen, please write us at one-on-one@iif-forum.com. On that, Rob, it's 10:30 on the nose. I thank you very much for your time. Exciting presentation. We got big updates from the last time you were with us. Very excited that your trucks are on the road now and gathering data for you guys, and the project is moving on very well forward.
Thank you. And hopefully we can meet in Montreal.
Absolutely. With pleasure. Bye-bye, Rob.
Merci beaucoup.